to locate and capture Spider-Man.
Welcome back, my dudes, and for those of you who haven't seen part 1, there should be a link to all of our Marvel lore reactions somewhere in the description. While you're down there though, please make sure to go support B-Mask, a link to that will be at the very top of the description, like always. Now, before we begin, a couple of disclaimers. If you guys hear any thundering booms in the background, that's due to thunderstorms in my area. Gotta be a couple this entire week, so. And of course, if there are any segments in this reaction that are cut out, it's more than likely due to a copyright claim for the music. It is what it is, I just kinda have to do that to get around it on YouTube. That being said, while I do immensely despise promoting myself, I do have a Patreon. The lowest tier is only $1 a month. Regardless of whatever tier that you select, you get access to everything. I don't have to do any of the edits there like I do for YouTube, so if you really want to see the full thing, it's over there as an option. But with all of that out of the way, let's get into this. Straight into an interlude, apparently.
You asked for it, loyal readers. Introducing the greatest hero of them all, the Golden Guardian of Good. Are you ready for the secret of the Sentry? Robbie discovers the Professor's secret formula.
Oh gosh, this must be the Professor's secret formula.
Suddenly, a miraculous transformation takes place. The boy glows with unknown energy.
Blast you, Void! Let us go!
Not a chance, Iron Man. With the Avengers captured, surely the mighty Sentry will follow soon. Sooner than you bargained for, Void. I will return, Sentry! I will return!
He very much will.
Sentry! In here! We need your help!
Surprise! What? A surprise party? Well, then all this time?
We were just setting you up. Put it there, pal.
We were waiting for days.
We knew you'd investigate. Heck, we counted on it, soldier.
Sergeant Fury, you made it too! And Nick! But, wait. How can you both be here? You're the
Fury?
same, you're from different times.
Ha! Don't worry about it. Blow out the candles.
Yes. Blow out the candles.
Oh shit.
What?
Who is you?
But I don't understand. Something's wrong. You're something wrong, and you can't be here. Not at my party.
Bro, what the hell is happening? I think I saw Sentry being described as like gaslight marketing by Marvel, so I'm very curious as to how this is all going to wrap up. While I do know Sentry from the movies, obviously we've already seen that the Thunderbolts are completely different in the comics, so who knows how this is going to go. Throughout these interlude sections though, I am getting flashbacks to Sir Superhero's Zemnu video, which if you guys haven't checked that one out, I do highly recommend it just on your own. It's a really fun video.
The planets. My God. They're all exploding.
Of course they are. There was nothing you could do. There was nothing that could stop him. His will was absolute. All of this was a simple wave of his hand. Mere whim.
No, that didn't happen. Did that happen? It was in a comic book that you read as a kid or on a TV show. What's wrong with you? Why is it so hard to remember?
Blow out the candles.
Blow out the candles!
Dang,
Sorry, Johnny.
Spidey, no pictures!
Hey, Mom. Dad fell asleep while reading my Sentry comics.
But you're an excellent reader anyway.
Yeah, but Dad was filling in lots of extra parts to make it more fun.
Okay, give me those. Hey, there's a Millie the Model book that guest stars this Sentry.
Aw, is this going to be lovey-dovey?
Don't worry. Someone will get hit.
Oh, good.
Thank goodness. Violence is not the answer.
We need a name, don't we? Something tough that makes it sound like bad news.
It's a question.
I guess good news.
And the answer is yes.
Good bad news.
Precisely the right tone to strike, Eric. In addition, it should be appropriately self-righteous and have an air of authority. Not unlike Avengers.
Ha! What you're describing, I believe, is a name with resonances of World War II, of stormtroopers und the Blitzkrieg. Something crypto-fascist, but friendly.
Okay.
And another beautiful float provided by the Long Island Acres Farmhouse Creamery going past as we speak in the lead up to today's event. Stunning work featuring exactly 100 cheese wheels and a perfect recreation of Shakespeare's Globe, all in celebration of our newest British savior, Citizen V.
I've not seen so much cheese since Titanic was in theaters.
Ah, very topical, Hugh.
Yes, for those tuning in, the atmosphere's thick with adoration today as we celebrate the first formal press conference from New York's newest heroes, the Thunderbolts, who've graciously agreed to make an appearance in the middle of their extremely busy schedules.
And it's been a wild party. Dancing, singing. This weather's just not letting folks down. And gosh, with everything we've gone through, it feels like celebrations have been long overdue in the, 6 years we've been at this job?
7, Judy. 7.
My goodness, man. Like, we already knew this, but B-Mask is kind of on like a whole nother level with these retrospectives.
Finally.
He loves it. The crowd loves him. He's got a T-pose to assert dominance. Or I suppose Y-posing, a little bit.
Thank you, everyone, for your wonderful and warm welcome. We are certainly glad to have made an impression, and I promise you that wherever evil may lurk, whenever villainy may seek to terrorize the innocent, the Thunderbolts will strike!
He's good.
Learn from the best.
He kind of reminds me of, if you guys have seen Megamind, it's like Metro Man during the initial speech that he gave. At least that's what I immediately thought of for some reason.
Over here, over here!
Citizen V, are you any relation? We'll be glad to answer questions, but please, one at a time.
Why call yourself the Thunderbolts?
It's inspired by a poem. Justice like lightning ever should appear, to few men's ruin, but to all men's fear.
This poem never really existed. Damn. But is this the reasoning given within the comics? They're adapted lines from Sweatnam, the Woman Hater? A Jacobian play? I don't know anything about this at all. This is true. The author has never been truly identified.
Our hope is that we can be that lightning, that justice. As for your other questions, yes, I'm the grandson of the original Citizen V, who fought fascism in World War II.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I hope to do half as well as he did. And to introduce the others, Techno, whose mentally controlled tech pack affords him access to an arsenal of thousands of weapons. Mark 1, who combines maneuverability with shattering firepower. Songbird, whose voice works wonders. Atlas, the team's powerhouse. And Meteorite, who burns as bright and as hard as her namesake.
You're all newcomers. Why is that?
There are many heroes more experienced than us, and they are all quite busy, as any newspaper will show you. That's why we formed the Thunderbolts, to add to the ranks of the world's heroes. Not to simply rearrange the players on the board. Now, if there are any questions.
I mean, I'm sure that there's potentially plenty of people out there with powers who don't really want to be doing this stuff. It comes back to the whole, with great power comes great responsibility, but like, genuinely, if I was given ultimate power and there were just a ton of other people out there with ultimate power already doing this, I don't know. I feel like I'd rather just do my own thing. Unless if there was really a time of great need where literally nobody else could step up, then yeah, sure, I got this. Maybe. So I think it's a perfectly plausible reason for them to only show up now. But of course, we know exactly who they are and what they're here for. Still waiting to see whether or not those initial intentions change over time.
Might call me the backbone of the team. After all, if not for my engineering genius, some of the other members wouldn't even exist.
Basically, anything a fighter jet can do, I can do in less than half the space.
I'm not really that big on public speaking, but if my mom's out there, I'd like her to know I'm okay and I love her and,
We gotta keep our identities and backgrounds a secret.
You know, not being good at public speaking and trying it anyways is kind of endearing.
You know how it is.
It's a dangerous world, and innocent people need someone to keep them safe.
Excuse me, Mr. V. The station's reporting that the Rat Pack have been sighted several blocks of where you fought them.
Ah, then you'll excuse us. Duty calls. To the V-Wing!
And with those words, the Thunderbolts snapped to action. Unselfishly. Unhesitatingly.
Definitely.
A threat had arisen, and they chose to meet it head on.
The glazing.
I don't think I can stress enough how much they got this right. As a concept, especially looking at Marvel history, this is a universe where people don't respond well to heroes, distrustful of vigilantes or prejudiced against those with different abilities, having to be won over with gimmicks and good press. The characters lost in the Onslaught War were, as Busiek called it, the daytime heroes, ones who had presented themselves as approachable, and the Thunderbolts were able to capitalize on those qualities after years of watching from the bench.
That does make a whole lot of sense. In many things in life, it really depends on the image and how you're viewed, how you present yourself. So if this is something that they're kind of getting right from the very get-go, because obviously they've seen other people do it, then of course that they're going to be popular and they're going to find their place within the hero society, I suppose.
All thanks to Zemo's direction, a man who knew the power of propaganda.
Oh yeah. And of course he would know about propaganda. That's his thing.
The Avengers just about fit together visually, carrying rules from across Marvel Comics, but were clearly all still individualized, with designs that operated in separate titles. The Fantastic Four were more clearly a unit, but were less pronounced in their individual costumes, and clearly more of a family than a set of soldiers. So the Thunderbolts were a genius combination of both sides of the philosophy, capable individuals who function as a team. Their looks communicated individual abilities, often based on existing heroes the public were already comfortable with, to be better accepted, and it also reflected aspects of their personalities. Songbird's Victorian-inspired, delicate neckpiece, Abe's over-the-top jets, Paul's swashbuckling, roguish headband, Eric's boxer guard-style helmet and huge grounded boots, or Carla's ever-shifting, intricate patterns you could never get a read on, which made all of them impossible to draw, so thanks for that, guys. At the same time, they have a set of rules that tie them together. Greens and purples, the comic colours of villainy, are replaced with red, white and blues, emphasizing their all-American charm, with streaks of violent yellow to signify their action-orientated namesakes.
Man. And these moments is when I wish Serby were here, the character designer, to talk about all this. Because yeah, that is a really cool idea to completely flip the script while still remaining true to them, but also from the knowledge that they have of current superheroes. Yeah, this is what works. You can almost imagine them just sitting in the drawing board, just trying to come up with a design and how to present themselves and what the public image is going to be. this is what is going to work.
Hell, they even stole the FF's matching symbols, each holding a badge that gave them a sense of authority. The one exception to some of those rules is Citizen V, carefully designed to stand out as the leader, but also to hint at a secret past. Busiek wanted him to be a cross between Batman and Captain America, the cape and pointed mask giving him a mysterious, sinister edge, and the deep purple a clue to his true identity. He was also the only hero given the name of an existing legacy character, purely to give him some immediate phony history and throw people off the initial twist. All of this was nailed by legendary artist Mark Bagley, who was the absolute right pick for the project. He had a style that lived between the intricate musculature of the 90s and the slowly developing streamlined look of the 2000s, as well as a kinetic energy that was born to be used on a book called Thunderbolts. Seriously, Bagley's natural style has shapes that arc, Thunderbolt-like, from one end to the other, naturally zigzagging in a manner that made the comics he drew zing off the page. Look closely and you'll even see him hiding a lot of these Thunderbolt shapes in the designs. Again, making sure that for all their technical differences, they had a dynamic, cohesive look.
Oh man, it must be so much fun though for somebody to sit down and think of, how do we make them individuals that are still one cohesive unit? The Fantastic Four definitely goes for that more classic approach to it. But here we're trying to really emphasize their individuality, and yet they can be linked together through common themes throughout their design. Art is just such an interesting topic, man. Well, especially when it comes to design, because there aren't really any set rules, more like guidelines, and how you apply them depends on the person working on the project. But ultimately, what's most important is that these ideas are conveyed to the people, especially people who maybe aren't as familiar with art and can't immediately recognize it, but when they see it, it's just like sitting there in the back of their mind, like, oh yeah, these are the Thunderbolts.
In a way, the look became iconic unto itself, and best of all, it was a look that could only be achieved with villains. Around this time, a lot of ethically dubious versions of hero teams had emerged from writers in a more cynical age, who maybe had bad intentions while trying to act like heroes, or who were satires of existing heroes in other titles, or who were like, what if Superman was fucking evil? Never seen that before. But this was the look an outright villain would dream up to make fun of superheroes, mocking the idea of the profession and the people who bought into it, of America's concept of heroism, completely unambiguously at their expense. Even the name was perfect for that. Bob Harris had originally wanted a more cutting-edge, modern title, but the creative team stood firm, believing an old-fashioned name was the only way they'd be able to sell the scam.
Let me see here. I do remember us brainstorming a hugely long list of potential alternate names, all of which kind of stunk. The one I remember offhand is the All-American. Blah! I seem to think the Corsairs was one as well, but that list is long lost through the pages of time. We did have a little trouble with the name. Bob thought that Thunderbolts was old-fashioned, and wanted a more modern, cutting-edge name. I racked my brain, but couldn't come up with anything I liked better. Finally, I told Bob that I thought the team should have an old-fashioned name since they were presenting themselves as old-fashioned heroes. Bob said okay. If we felt strongly about it, it was fine. And I think that works. That was for the best. They really tried to get every single avenue of this propaganda to work, and having a old-fashioned name would certainly give that image in the public's mind, right, of classic superheroes. They're here to do good, because good is good.
The Thunderbolts were actively improving on their enemies' appeal, getting the American superhero design formula so right, even we, the readers, had been fooled.
Yeah, that's another point that I didn't mention in the last video, because I didn't really think about it. But you guys had talked about it in the comments of like how something like this could never happen in the modern age anymore because of the internet and how leaks get shared. Like people would know immediately that the Thunderbolts were up to no good. But at the time, that wasn't really a thing. So the amount of marketing and hush-hush around it made it a genuine surprise for all of you guys who were actually there when the comics released. As B-Mask is saying here, I think it really goes back to the genius of the design behind both like the logo, the name, and the costumes, where yes, obviously you see it and you think this is superheroes, right? A new team of superheroes to be introduced because everybody else is kind of gone at the moment. And yet those sharper edges to their design gives a bit away, and really in hindsight, when you look at it and you see it, you can recognize, oh, these are villains who are masquerading as heroes. It's really just the perfect in-between design for both sides, both villains and heroes, where you can see both, and it makes sense, but you didn't realize it until you know about it, or you really, really thought about it.
And likewise, in their universe, the public ate it up.
Exclusive video footage of yesterday's dramatic capture of the Circus of Crime by the daring new team of superheroes known as the Thunderbolts. Between this and their recent battles with the Wrecking Crew and the Incredible Hulk, the Thunderbolts are capturing the attention and the admiration of Americans nationwide.
Just did what we had to do, you know?
Come on, kids. Let's get you to higher ground.
Gentlemen, it seems our foe has lost his head.
Oh my.
Lost his head?
Never let it be said I am without humor.
Oh my god. Ooh, what a frame to pause on. But yeah, the media is such a powerful tool in controlling the opinions of the public. Whenever you see stuff like this, you always start to question whether or not the things that you've learned about today are actually true. It's also why whenever something is mentioned about a country or a place or a person, and I say, I don't know, yeah, you know, maybe a ton of people will clown on me in the comments like, how could you not know this thing? But if I don't know it personally, I don't know anybody who comes from there, I've never been there myself, I'm just going to assume maybe what I know isn't completely true.
Hey ladies, enjoying your day?
Ah, you're him! You're Atlas! Oh, I just
You're
gotta
him.
get your autograph!
Well, sure, but my hands, they're kind of big. There, now do you?
That's perfect! I'm never moving out of this building!
The advantages were numerous. For one, their appealing designs and heroic actions had quickly earned the public's trust, and gotten them in contact with the mayor's office via a superhero liaison. Dallas Reardon would communicate with the Bolts to give them government assignments, and by proving themselves on those missions, they'd eventually get adopted into the system, and given access to facilities that would make them Avengers for real. They were very careful to ensure Dallas only saw their good side, and she had nothing but praise for their work. But hey, she might have been a little biased.
No need to call me Miss Reardon, Atlas. After all, we'll be working together.
A little bit,
Please.
eh?
Call me Dallas.
Well, Dallas, are you doing anything later?
As official superheroes, by which I mean government approved, the Bolts now had a tactical advantage over other heroes, many of whom had been plaguing them as villains for years. They could challenge the authority of anyone left, or hunt down vigilantes without consequence, allowing some of them to settle age-old grudges.
Yes! We're going after Spider-Man! Spider-Man!
Do not allow your feelings to jeopardize our long-term goals.
Oh, don't worry. I won't screw up. But after all the trouble I've had from that web-slinger, I'm going to enjoy this.
Even better were their advantages over the villain community. Long-held rivalries and bids for power from other criminals could now be crushed with the full force of authority, making them seem heroic to the public, but also getting rid of potential competition. Not that there weren't any trade-offs. Having to keep a low profile and not having a superhero base of their own, they ran the operation out of a rundown pizza shop, denied the comforts of their usual supervillain lairs, and even worse, realizing their gap in the market had already been filled.
The Masters of Evil? But we're the Masters of Evil! I can't take this rat trap another second. I'm a former Hydra section chief, damn it! I'm used to the best facilities, not some filthy, roach-infested cesspool where the plumbing's on its last legs. And you won't even let me fix it!
I'll be blunt. This HQ is important to our image. If we show up fully equipped, bristling with technological wonders, the public might accept us. But they won't think we need anything from them. They'll never, never give us what we want. Am I making myself clear?
She was right to enforce that principle. Zemo instilled discipline that had the Thunderbolts take the scam seriously.
That is actually a good point. It's kind of that want to help support the underdog, as opposed to the people who are already on top and they're like already doing great. You were usually likely to be more critical about those people. Being a bit lower down the totem pole just makes it more, well, easier to relate to you as well for the public.
He insisted they, even in private, only use their code names and refer sparingly to their former lives, as well as try to treat other heroes with some respect. Zemo's rules, while restrictive, worked, because people began to willingly hand over power to them. In the end, their greatest success was when the powers that be, feeling as though they had truly replaced their fallen heroes, gave them the Fantastic Four's home to live in.
Insane.
This was funny now.
You oversized oaf! Your giant foot was blocking the exit from the Bugle parking garage! You costumed clowns! You think you own this city, disrupting the peace anytime you feel like it, you!
My apologies, Mr. Jameson, but our mission is an official one, and quite urgent.
And what kind of mission is so all-fire and important that supersedes the rights of ordinary citizens?
We've been sent to locate and capture Spider-Man.
Man, this is a perfect face, man. Finally, somebody who gets it. That menace needs to get off the street.
Really? Oh, well now, at least you're doing something constructive. Well, carry on then.
That was easy.
You know, boss, I love this gig. I really love it.
The success of the con was a major part of the fascination and gave the book an, if you will, electric quality, becoming a case study in how a villain's hypothetical dream worked in practice, and showing how this could be maintained. Busiek had hit on a totally new dynamic for the Marvel Universe, certainly on this scale, and for hero comics in general.
Oh yeah, this must have been incredibly exciting because it just wasn't really a thing that much at the time. Sure, there were other teams, but they didn't quite hit the same notes as what this is being presented as. I think genuinely this is a case where this was a really cool idea, a pretty good idea that also had a bunch of reiterations in order to make it what it is now. In addition to probably perfect timing when it comes to how the state of comic books were at the time, and where the Marvel lore was at.
The Suicide Squad were villains forced to do good deeds, or else, but the Thunderbolts were villains in disguise, enjoying the deception, and that made it feel fresh. The intrigue and drama coming from that precarious balancing act as they maintained the scam. Every page and line of dialogue underlined by the twisted truth. This aspect would only increase when they gained a new public spokesperson, a teenaged sidekick.
What? But I ordered you to...
Yeah, I know. But hey, I'm part of this, and I am not staying behind.
Hallie Takahama was another victim of the Onslaught attack, made an orphan when her home was destroyed, living on the streets with other survivors. These poor souls, herself included, were eventually rounded up and spirited away to the country Latveria, locked in the dungeons of a certain monarch's castle. She never saw her captor, but was experimented on by his underlings, tortured daily, until their efforts finally backfired. Now in possession of astonishing electrical powers, Hallie escaped back to New York to find help, figuring the best people to ask would be the Fantastic Four, and was shocked to find someone else on their couch. It wasn't so bad. These guys seemed competent enough and were happy to give her a role in the team, as well as a new costume. One that now rings a couple bells. With their help, she was able to...
Not sure what that's about. There are still a ton of heroes out there that I have absolutely no idea about, so I apologize if this is supposed to be like common knowledge. I don't know. This is going to be kind of interesting. Like, how exactly is the dynamic going to work now, considering that we have a new person on the team who presumably doesn't know about the underlying thing to this entire operation? And she's just genuinely here to be a hero, to try and do good? Is she going to be, like, changed to join their side, or is she going to change them in some way? Or are they going to seek to eliminate her whenever their plan comes to fruition.
To take the fight back to Latveria, ready to face the Fantastic Four's greatest foe, only to discover another person in his place, too.
Good evening, my friends. You were expecting someone else? I apologize.
Doctor.
Air Dr. Doom has been missing as of late. But please, come in anyway. I can always use more raw material.
Who's that? It's kind of funny.
Arnim Zola, an infamous Nazi geneticist and former associate of Helmut's, had been responsible for the entire ordeal. And given Helmut was now in the habit of broadcasting their battles, it suddenly became an opportune moment to create even more distance between himself and his former life. There was another thing the cameras would pick up.
Gotcha. I've never heard of this dude before or seen him before, but his name sounds oddly familiar somehow. Probably maybe mentioned in another one of the videos that we checked out, or just in the movies in general.
The realization from Hallie that his experiments were her former friends. The full force of her emotions in the face of such evil were viewed by millions. Her courageous actions to fix the problem and defeat Zola, now famous, and it made it difficult for the public to let her go.
Whoa. I guess this really worked out for the Thunderbolts, though. Somebody who is technically a part of the team showing such real emotion. Like, you can't make this shit up. You can't act this way. This is true to the core. It's you can't be faked. So now if there was any doubt in anybody's mind about the Thunderbolts, it kind of gets erased through this.
Is she a new Thunderbolt? What are her powers?
Well,
They love her.
Keep
She's
her.
the darling of the moment, the hero of the day. She'll bring us even more
Use her.
respectability.
Yeah.
Of course, if you don't make her a member, they'll all want to know why. And that could jeopardize our secrets.
She is not currently a member of the Thunderbolts, no. But if she'd like to join us, we'd be honored to count her as a member.
Oh, wow. I'm flattered. And I'm grateful for the offer. Well, I'll do my best. And as for a name, I guess you can call me Jolt. Yeah, Jolt.
Oh boy. She has no idea what she got herself
her
into.
inclusion was a great benefit. Hallie was a huge fangirl, obsessed with superheroes, as well as possessing an encyclopedic knowledge of their adventures, and was excited to be a hero of her own on a brand new team. With someone like Hallie as their new mascot, they now had the perfect cheerleader to defend every position they took, with great enthusiasm, lending a huge amount of credibility to their public appearances, as well as helping them face threats only the Avengers had dealt with before.
Holy cow, it's the Growing Man!
The which?
The Growing Man? Oh, come on, it's not Thor, Iron Man, even the Avengers. Yeah, I'm kind of an Avengers buff.
So what does it do?
It grows.
Is that all? Well, I better lay it out fast.
Meteorite, no! It grows when you hit it.
Oh damn.
Okay, see? Ooh.
Sure, it meant they had to keep their mouths shut around her, but they were already managing to keep a big enough secret. A teenager shouldn't be too much of a concern, right? Really, it was all good. And
Oh shit. But the way that he said that, it makes you think that she's going to discover everything and try to uncover the plot and reveal it. But if she tries that, I don't know about her safety. I wonder if we're gonna have a situation where she does discover it, but then an accident happens, let's say. Or maybe there's like a moment where she's in peril when they're fighting against a villain and they decide maybe we just don't help her.
every point across the board, with success upon success coloring their adventures, the team became a beloved set of household names. Every turn brought them better rewards and more attention. Every deed became an iconic story for the public to tell, and it looked like the party wasn't stopping anytime soon. Everybody loves a hero. Everybody loved them. All they had to do was keep it up, just keep doing what they were doing, maintain the facade, enjoy the rewards.
You did what?
And not fuck it up.
At last, with the Earth's technology under my control, nothing can stop me from taking over the
Ultron.
world. Not so with special wing attachments and sonar sound effects.
Oh my god. Man, it's been so long. I do remember way back when these sort of like toy commercials on TV. Looking back at them now, they're so cheesy and yet so nostalgic too.
Music to my ears. Trying to escape the leap. I don't think so, Batrock. No. Mach 1 with rocket launcher accessory. Sure. Yeah. Excellent work, team. With my sword-slashing action, these fiends are aflame. Watch out, Citizen V. It's Baron Zemo and his masters of evil.
Oh my.
I will destroy them. You will not. Captain America with swinging shield accessories saves the day again. Oh, blimey. Thanks for the save, Captain. And thank you, Thunderbolts. Together, our friendship is our strength.
Thunderbolts action figures in stores now. Each sold separately. Mach 1 not actually a flying toy.
You did what?
Hey, what's the harm? They'll never pin it on me. And the guy had...
Oh shit. Are those bags of money that you stole? You are jeopardizing this entire operation, sir.
$7 grand in cash plus jewelry. What, I should have given it to the cops?
Yes! You're engaged in the greatest deception in history. Look around you. Look at this building. Do you have any idea how much this cost? Say gave this to us. Gave this to us. And you jeopardize that for a pathetic $7,000?
Yeah.
I screwed up, I guess.
That you have. And if you ever expose us to discovery like that again...
Enough, Zemo. He realized his mistake. No need to dwell on it.
My God.
So, here's the problem with supervillains pretending to be superheroes.
They're still supervillains.
They're not superheroes.
Yeah.
For as tight as the team was, and as well as Zemo led it, the natural instincts of these criminals were not, shall we say, good. All the things that were their strengths as villains were now liabilities that could seriously hurt their reputation, and while you can lead a horse to water, you cannot make it nice. There were attempts made, serious attempts, to keep their identities hidden. Public perception clouded interest in their former lives, but Paul knew they still needed to change their facial features to avoid being recognized by the authorities. Not wearing masks means you have nothing to hide, and while Zemo maintained his air of mystery, Paul devised a machine that altered some of the others' appearances, including his own. No longer a gooner, in theory, anyway. These disguises worked. To a point. Most were fooled, but some, well, some just couldn't shake this feeling. Something about the decisions they made, the way they moved, or spoke.
The girl's voice. Have we met before?
Wouldn't know from where.
The villains were the most perplexed of all. Some of them were totally fooled as well, sure. Criminal couple Titania and the Absorbing Man took one look at this new group and, not realizing this was a scam, ripped off their look for their own scam. Never the sharpest tools in the shed. But others thought something was off. They were used to being defeated, sure, but this was weird. Like the new team was always one step ahead, always
aware. They knew exactly how they thought because, hey, we're the same, you and I. Now I think about it though, it's even funnier if one of the villains say, we're the same, you and I, to these quote-unquote heroes, because they have no idea how true that is. But this is a really interesting thought process of like, how fundamentally different are they? Like, deep underneath, they are villains, but why are they villains, right? Like, why do they think differently from heroes, and what led them to this point? To a point where acting good is just unnatural. I just have these habits that I have to do that I just can't shake, even though I'm trying to keep up this facade. Are they just truly rotten to the core, where no matter how much they try to cover it up, it's going to leak out at some point? But then it makes you wonder, like, are humans, are we born good or are we born evil? Do we try to do things good because we consciously choose to do so, or is that just within our nature? A lot of questions that I don't think we'll ever get answers to, but like, these aren't the kind of questions that you would think a comic book would make you think of, but I'm certainly thinking about it right now.
Things they shouldn't know, or making things happen that didn't seem right.
So anyway, Thunderbolts rumbled the operation, and the goods got confiscated.
It's all I hear these days. Thunderbolts this, Thunderbolts that.
I know what you mean, fellas. They're going after everyone. It's like they've got some kind of inside information. Like they really know the mobs. Still, it looks like I could make a living playing poker, eh?
Hey, what's that noise?
Ooh, looks like I gotta go.
I thought you said you were retiring, Nob.
I'm doing some consulting, strictly background stuff, low risk, but it's at a tricky phase. Very delicate. You know how it is.
Hydra, in particular, was getting very concerned. Baron Wolfgang von Strucker, a founding member of the organization who had personally worked with Heinrich back in the good old days, wanted to get ahead of the threat as soon as possible, working fast to shake them down, and was shocked to receive a call from an unexpected guest.
Good morning, von Strucker.
What? How did you get this frequency?
I'll make it simple. Either you leave us alone, or you can escalate this. And we'll make it our top priority to shut you down. Your choice.
And something about the caller's attitude, his arrogance, seemed
familiar.
But Zemo was too distracted to worry about any of that, because he'd begun to get suspicions of his own. At first, it had been difficult to get the Bolts to do as they were told, but as time went on, they'd seemed more comfortable in their roles, performing perfectly as heroes. Perhaps too perfectly. Eric was getting closer to Dallas, someone Zemo felt they needed to keep at arm's length. Hallie had no idea they were crooks still, and her shows of affection were seriously cramping his style. One occasion saw them working alongside Spider-Man, with Abe constantly itching to screw him over by the end. Only that didn't happen. Was this to keep up appearances? Or was this something else?
Oh shit, it was what I was talking about earlier. It's like, we're acting this way. So, do we end up becoming this way? Because we're trying to be heroes, you end up becoming the very thing that you sought to destroy. In a good way. Now, obviously, as a viewer, I would love to see them continue down this path to fully become heroes, but then maybe they end up getting discovered as villains? But, you know, they've turned over a new leaf. But now nobody wants them. Oh god, now what do? You go back to a life of crime? How does this change you as a person? I mean, I was talking about earlier. Are you truly rotten down to the core that you just can't be a hero? Or is it just, you know, your environment, the decisions that you made? I guess the public adoration too? Finally understanding what it's like to be accepted?
You seemed troubled earlier. I wondered if there was anything I could do.
You're the shrink, right? You tell me.
At a guess, I'd say it has to do with Spider-Man.
I'd planned to leave him hanging. I was looking forward to it, even. But I couldn't. I gave him the disc because he deserved it. It was the right thing to do.
The right thing to do.
I gotta tell you, Meteorite, this hero thing, I'm starting to think it's contagious.
As the team were growing...
Oh shit. I love this though. Oh man. Finally doing something good and understanding how it feels, how it makes you feel, wanting to feel that again. Oh man. For these villains, this must be a trip. And in some ways, I can kind of even relate to how they're feeling. Not to a whole like supervillain to hero sort of degree, but just a dude and then an entertainer on YouTube. The whole break that I took from uploading videos was also due to this and just burnout in general. It was kind of a real struggle between me and the Zero, the mad scientist of the legit weebs, who you guys see here on the channel. When you spend so much time as that, the lines start to blur between what is real and what isn't, and which one you are, which one is more of you. It's a weird thing. I don't know if I can fully describe it, and honestly, I didn't really understand it even when other people were talking about it until I started to sit on this side of the screen and started uploading content and creating things, and it just felt different. But you know, I'm not going to ramble too much about myself and my own problems. Just wanted to make a point that, yeah, I kind of get it. I can actually understand what they're going through right now.
Growing closer, Zemo worried they were growing softer, more interested in what being a hero offered. And it was getting a little, I don't know, sappy.
Human again? Well, that's kind of cool. Does that mean maybe I could have kids someday or something like that?
Kids? Your relationship with Dallas going that well, huh?
Hey, I'm just asking.
I don't believe it, Melissa. Look at all this mail. It's fan mail. For us.
Here's one
Feels
for
good.
you. Ahem. Dear Mach 1, I'd like to inquire about your availability for product endorsements?
Oh, man.
I know it sounds kind of stupid, but well, you guys have been so nice to me. Taking me in like this, and well, it kind of feels like...
Feels like home. Feels like a family. I never had a daughter, but
Fantastic
if
Four.
I did, I'd want her to be just like you.
Oh my god, this is perfect because they're also in their very building. They're actually going through the Fantastic Four arc.
Yeah. Wait, really, Carla? You mean that?
Really, Allie. I mean that.
Wow.
But did she? Did she really? What was going on? Why were they all being so nice?
Ugh, disgusting. And he was like, what the fuck, guys? We had a plan. Am I the only evil one?
Busiek Zima was, definitively, an outsider, even among his own peers, and I think that built wonderfully off his history of trying to be taken seriously. Even with a brilliant new plan and a team of lost souls he had power over, he was written as someone apart from the others, unable to connect with their personal lives, forever left out of other children's games, and the dramatic quality of that angle made their dynamics around his own wonderfully compelling. Eric wasn't particularly bright, and had a history of running from situations or being easily manipulated, but here was a relationship with someone who seemed to genuinely like him, and showing a side of Eric he never thought existed. While his place on the team seems natural aesthetically, a villain already associated with stealing another hero's gimmick, he'd really been chosen by Busiek for the page that established him first, a nameless henchman searching for his master at any personal cost. That's who he'd been throughout his life in print, following orders with no long-term plans, so it made sense to reverse that and have people look to him for answers, to see how he would cope, and watching him struggle to ignore that kept him on a razor's edge throughout the narrative.
So I said yes, left the force, and went to work for the mayor. My family was disgusted, of course, they're all badges. My dad still won't let it go. But listen to me, Gab. And I don't even know the first thing about you. Not even your name.
Dallas,
No, look. It's all right. I know you've got to protect the team. You've got to keep your secrets. Tell you what, I'll call you Steve, and you can call me Slim, like in that Bogart movie.
You're too nice.
Yeah, really. She's a goddamn angel. And this is like such a Viltrumite and human dynamic. Slowly, over time, they begin to understand what it feels like to be cared for, loved, accepted. And as I was saying earlier, like, what is that going to do to these villains? These people who have had other sort of goals, other motivations driving them this entire time. And then they're like, wait a minute, this is kind of nice. As a reader, though, I would love seeing them go through this entire process and the struggles to really figure out who they are, who they want to be, what makes them happy. Because Marvel Comics have always been about that, right? The whole heroes that are relatable. Now, obviously, these are supervillains masquerading as heroes, and yet they're quite relatable. We're getting to see the story from their side, and we're getting to see them as humans.
If I was you, I wouldn't. Uh-oh. Gotta go.
Melissa, as Screaming Mimi, had been something of a blank slate, and wasn't Busiek's first choice, but given she was always presented in a crowd, trying to blend in, there was enough to suggest a history of abandonment, which Busiek made the core of her anxieties here. It's why she'd strike up a relationship so quickly with Abe, the reader's unsure if this was entirely genuine or simply another body for her to hide behind. And it might have worked, only now, Abe was coming to like the perks of being a real hero. This was a guy who, looking back on his appearances past, had wanted respect, and Busiek wondered what would happen when you throw all that approval at him all at once. Abe getting everything he wanted killed his motivation as a villain, and made Melissa sure he would eventually leave her behind, too.
I just want to talk. You've been shutting me out for weeks.
Abe, I don't mean to be rude, but it's just... everyone I've ever cared about, I've lost them.
Look, I can hardly believe this is me saying this, but I've started to wonder if maybe other things might be more important. And the reason I'm thinking like that is you.
It was her worst nightmare. Part of her thought this might be a phase, but another part agreed, hoping nobody would notice, not knowing Carla was watching them all. It was obvious Carla had a better poker face than Zemo, a terrific liar whose set of skills as a psychiatrist made her the most obvious to dramatically play with. She had been a wonderful villain in earlier appearances, telling whatever lies she needed to get what she wanted, but it was Roger Stern who built on those qualities after making her a frequent foe of the Avengers, especially during her time with Zemo, always finding an angle to undermine him, and that hadn't changed a bit. She knew what intense roleplay would do to these criminals, and her efforts to stop that seemed oddly inconsistent, especially around Hallie, leaving Zemo to wonder whose side she was really on.
Ah, Meteorite. And how are you today? Not plotting against me, are you?
Plotting against you?
Just don't think I haven't noticed how much you've cheered Mach 1 and Songbird's affair on. Or Atlas with that Reardon woman.
You did give me responsibility of keeping the team functioning and convincing in their roles.
Functioning? Yes. Addlepated with romantic thoughts and dreams of family? No. And speaking of which, it was you who talked me into bringing that wretched little foundling onto the team.
Well, I think Zemo, unfortunately, as conniving as he is, it seems to me that he doesn't understand people. I think he knows how to use them, but he doesn't understand their nature. As for Meteorite over here, as the psychiatrist, I think she knows that this was going to go this way the entire time. It was just a matter of time, really. But yeah, I also can't really get a grasp on her and whether or not she wants to change as well, and she's like cool with it being this way, or if she has something else planned. Unfortunately, Zemo is out of the loop in more ways than one.
Forcing us to continue the role-playing 24 hours a day!
Me? It was you who decided to broadcast our battle, making her so popular we couldn't convincingly turn her away. I've been performing my duties as best I can, Baron, and they require considerable improvisation.
Perhaps we can ease your load and prove your loyalty in one stroke.
Kill her.
Yeah, there you go.
Do you have a problem with that?
An accident?
Doctor?
Not conceptually, no.
The beauty of the book was that we couldn't tell what the truth was either. Busiek created a fantastic...
I mean, throughout BMA's video, even I can't get a grasp on this character. I guess this is just exactly how it was presented, too.
Conflict through these characters, without ever feeling untrue to their history. Rather than take every detail at face value to try and justify all loose ends, he simply took all the broad commonalities of their appearances and asked why they would be worth exploring in this scenario, to create a story where we were constantly guessing who might ruin the plan, always aware what they were thinking, how they were changing, but never knowing which way they'd finally go. It's a great skill to take a character with a long existing history and manage to make a compelling narrative that still feels true to all of who they've been. Certainly something other great villains of Marvel history had gotten to experience as various writers played their qualities up and down, pushing them as far as they could possibly go while remaining true to their core values. Only now it was being used on a bunch of C-listers. Complexities that had always been there were finally brought forward, in a situation that suited them best, and that complexity, as it changed week to week, could jeopardize everything they'd worked for. Zemo was getting nervous. There was a feeling that wasn't there before. He couldn't put his finger on it, but it was there. The longer this went on, the more things might change, and the less chance he had of the plan succeeding. It began to take its toll.
Good work, Thunderbolts. We can expect further attacks from the elements of doom, though, and we've got to find a way to shut them down before they strike again.
Oh, that shouldn't be a problem. Techno can find them. Can't you, Techno?
Nothing easier. With that many radioactive elements among them, tracking them will be a snap.
Great. So we...
Hold it. Before I put my team in harm's way again, we need proper intelligence. So, once again, I'm requesting the Avengers files.
Well, there's been discussion of unsealing them, but the question of ownership hasn't been resolved. And in any case, we're unsure that they're complete after the recent incursion into the mansion.
Blast it! We're supposed to be safeguarding the city from a super-powered army. I want all the information that can help me, and I do not appreciate being denied it while it's allowed to be destroyed by incompetence.
Incompetence?
Oh, shit. Oh, God, look at Video right in the background. Oh, God damn. Well, the person who was always on about everybody keeping the mask on is fully mask off right now. Of all the people to let it slip, and of course it was going to be Zemo.
Citizen V,
I am tired, Miss Riordan. Tired of risking my life and my team's lives and being rewarded with suspicion. I want those files. I want those security clearances, and I want them now, before we aid you any further.
This is very suspicious behavior.
What? You're refusing to help? But lives are in danger. We can't just
We do not go. That is an order.
The balance was always in flux. Their need to maintain the lie conflicted with what they were beginning to feel, and because all of them had entirely different goals, it was never easy to predict who would sink or swim. Disobeying their boss could be to the benefit of the plan, seeming more credible as heroes, both to Hallie and the world, but it could also be because they actually wanted to see if, without their master, they could still do the job, and that could go either way. On one horrible occasion, it did. Paul's death, so sudden, so tragic, showed they were, in fact, in completely over their heads. But it also showed something else.
Songbird? Got to move fast. Go now!
No, I can't do it. Not alone. If we can free Abe, then maybe. But you can't just ask me to go out there.
I know you can do it. You're a hero, Songbird. I know it.
You're a hero.
You really think so?
She believes so.
You really think I'm a hero?
It showed, in a literal do-or-die situation, when the odds were against them, maybe they could do it. Maybe they could save themselves, fight the bad guys, live their own lives, be real heroes. Maybe...
You know, I should die more often. Look on everyone's face is totally priceless.
Yeah, I breezed past that for a reason. Paul, with an ego the size of Cleveland, had only ever cared about being recognized and adored for his genius, and wasn't looking to rock the boat until his superiority was called into question. However, his death only made things worse. His subconscious transferred into his robotic tech pack, which made him 1,000,000 times more insufferable and above the drama. Not the first time he's been replaced by a robot, funnily enough, and I don't think it's an accident that he suddenly looked more hench now. Anyway, the real point was that any good they thought they were capable of was always undercut by the bad it came with, and it made it even less likely that this thing could hold together. The question was no longer if they could pull off the scheme, it's who would be there when they did.
That was an awful chance you took.
I know it's not something I would have tried a few weeks ago, but I'm starting to feel confident for the first time in a long time.
Thunderbolts?
Oh,
Black Widow!
Oh no! Oh shit! Man, how could you keep up that sort of facade against the master of keeping up facades, huh? This is gonna be a true test of whether or not they have become what they've acted as this entire time. I think really you just have to go that deep into the quote-unquote role play in order to fool somebody like Black Widow. At least from my impressions of her character.
Hi!
Is there something we can...
I thought, perhaps, I might help you.
I've recently reached the conclusion that I may not be all that good a superhero, but I'm still a very good spy. I wondered how such experienced super types came out of nowhere, so I did some investigating and came up with some very odd possibilities.
We don't know what
Calm down. I don't know anything, you understand? Not for sure. If I did know something, I'd have to do something about it. But we're not there. Not yet, anyway.
And this is supposed to make us calm down?
I'm guessing you got into the game because you wanted respect. And you, Songbird. It seems like you got a lot of bad breaks. This one. It's a good one, isn't it? If I'm guessing right, you'd like to become what you pretend to be. But can you?
Also, probably the perfect person to be talking about this to these people. Because sure, they may have been villains in the past, but it's kind of undeniable that they've been doing a lot of good. So why don't we just make it official? Just let me know that I don't actually have to do anything about this, and that we can all just work together.
I have, and so have others. They overcame fear and suspicion. They proved themselves. And they proved it's possible to change. Now, some advice. You've got some thinking to do, and a decision to make. Your boss, if I'm right, is the lowest of the low. The worst it gets.
Yeah.
He will go down. And if you're still there when he does, you'll be going with him.
Dude. It's over. Choose now who you are, who you truly are, who you want to be. And honestly, with the way Zemo's been treating everybody, things are not looking good for him.
What are you all lying around for? We're supposed to be taking over the world today!
We're not gonna take any orders from you this time, Citizen V!
Yeah, we're too busy eating these tasty fruit pies.
Fruit pies? They are the masters of evil!
The only evil I'm gonna be doing is hogging both great flavors, apple and cherry.
Here, try one Citizen V. The delicious, real fruit filling, the light, tender crust, just like your mother used to make.
Oh, very well. Scrumptious! I never knew pie could taste this good. From now on, we'll use our powers to benefit and protect mankind.
Yeah.
Not to mention these tasty fruit pies.
That's how it would go exactly.
The new tasty fruit pies for when your superhero hunger strikes.
Anyone got the macros on these, or?
Leave me alone.
This is Mach 1 to strike team. I'm keeping my distance from him so he doesn't blow up my armor, but I've still got enough pop to send him the right way.
You don't get it. No one gets it. Leave me.
Honestly, I would love to continue this because I'm super into it right now, but unfortunately, I have run out of time to record for today. Gotta run, so thank you guys so much for joining me. Hope you guys enjoyed your time here and hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll catch you guys in part 3.